Welcome back to the Unlocking Learning Disabilities Podcast. Today we are here with Therese Lorente, and we are going to talk about kind of the parent struggles and parent advocacy for kids with learning disabilities. So, welcome.
Thank you, Katie.
What is your family makeup? So you have two kids.
So I have 3 kids and 2 are dyslexic.
Okay. So let's talk about kind of as a parent, how did you start to figure out that Stephanie, your daughter, was dyslexic? What were the signs that you said, I think maybe we need to get her tested for something?
So I had, just that she was not doing well at school. And we were getting, she went to Catholic school and she would get her Iowa tests done, and she just was not performing well. And I thought, this is like, it's so strange, right? What's happening here?
Yeah.
And so I looked at a lot of friends that had testing done, and they would spend a lot of money on the testing, and it didn't seem to work out for them. And so I thought about it, like, I got to figure out a different way. So I just spent a lot of time with the principal, and I went through Child Find program through Inglewood schools, kind of that No Child Left Behind.
Yeah.
Thought, well, let's try this out and see how that works. And it wasn't didn't work out perfectly, but someone said she's an auditory learner, and I knew nothing about anything.
Yeah. So,
there's always like that guardian angel around for you. And this woman, I said, I got this paper. She's an auditory learner. I have no idea. She goes, you know what? You're going to get her tested again, but you're going to go sign up for what was called Recording for the Blind Dyslexic at the time. And so it was just it was the path of starting. And then we got her formally tested, and then she was diagnosed with dyslexia. So.
Okay, so how did that change how you handled homework, schoolwork, all of that sort of thing? What did you do to say, okay, we have these results, now what is our family going to do to help her?
So, and really, it's not like the internet at that time was like super,
Sure.
with the dial-up speed and everything like that. So I I did what this mother told me to do. I signed her up, and we got a book, and we had to order a book, and it was on this expensive CD player. And she goes, what book should I order? We ordered The Hidden Staircase, Nancy Drew.
Sure.
And it all arrived. Everything arrived. She went back in her room. She listened to it. She listened to it again. Listened to it again. She could basically tell me everything that happened to it. So there's like little increments that that there's hope, that something, your child is, she's not, as I think a preschool teacher told her, she's slow, right?
Yeah, sure.
You get all these like messages in the parent-teacher
not
conference,
paying attention,
slow, distracted, this, but she's slow. I'm like, I don't think she's slow. I think she's pretty bright, but who do I know? You know. So when some child comes out and can just tell me the whole story, I thought, okay, I really have to dig deep into this and see what is going on. And then you're starting to have more communications and talk to the school. And that's where everyone hits that roadblock, right? And you're like, okay, why don't they know about this? And so I think that was, the big aha moment for me as a parent. They don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to help them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
this is now my project.
So now it's my project. Okay, I'm good at projects.
Yeah.
I'm going to fix this, right? But if it's me, then there were 2 other boys in the class that were slow.
Yeah.
Well, what's going on with them, right?
Yeah.
So let's figure this out, right?
Yeah.
And so this has been since 4th grade. She's 28 today, and I could say that there's a lot of kids that have been helped, right?
Yeah.
Because of that. But it's education, right? Like, wait a minute, I don't think you guys all know about all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because they weren't taught about it. Right?
Sure. So what did you do in terms of like her homework and that sort of thing? What adjustments or accommodations did you make at home to help her get through now going into 4th, 5th, the harder grades?
So,
right?
So she's listening to a book. So, maybe I'm going to read everything to her. I'm going to read her homework to her. We're going to read that. And then let's get maybe some tutoring on that area, and it was hard to find all this stuff, right? So it's like, okay, and let me get some books and read about that. I think the first book I got was a Sally Shaywood's book, right? So you're always like, what is this, right?
Yeah.
So those were just helpful. It's just, okay, your child is not slow.
Yeah.
So you just have, there's always this, my child, it's so terrible, something. And I can see parents when they're newly diagnosed, no, your child's fine. This is great.
Yeah.
Earlier the better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're like, how come you're so happy? Because I know that your child is smart.
Yeah.
So they learn a different way. So I'm going to read your homework to you. And we're going to sit like around the corner in our kitchen. And we're going to sit there and read everything.
Yeah.
And then you're going to listen to your books, and then we're going to talk about it after.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of like, let's just go meet with each teacher, and I'm going to be giving tutorials on how she learns best.
Sure.
And there was a lot of eye rolling, but I can deal with eye rolling if it's going to help my kid. Oh, brother.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's funny because you'll have a teacher go, oh, that's interesting. Our history book has like CDs that came with it. I just kind of chucked them in the back room. I go, oh. So bit by bit, it's like and you just have to be kind to the teachers, right? And kind and be patient with your child at home too, because it's a lot.
So as a parent, how did you and your husband handle the diagnosis? Because that has to be hard, right? You hear this and you're trying to digest it together. So what emotions did you kind of go through to get to the point where you could be happy and say, okay, we're going to be able to deal with this? Because it's very overwhelming.
So I'll tell you that one mother, she that told me, oh, you're going to sign her up for this. And then you're going to go through all these other steps. But right now you're going to sign up. That's going to be your win, your first win.
Yeah.
You need a first win.
Yeah.
And I said, wait a minute, how do you know about this? Because as I look at you, you have 8 children and they're all perfect.
Right.
So she goes, oh no, I have like 3. They are perfect, but they have a learning disability.
Sure.
So I said, okay. So, there's just, and that speaks to getting it out there, not being afraid to talk about it to anybody.
Sure.
And so you asked the question about like my husband, it was like, okay, you're going to handle this.
Yeah.
Right. It's like you take the kids to soccer, you're going to handle this. Right. But, and so I think a lot of it was that way.
Yeah.
Until he was diagnosed.
Sure. Oh. So it's kind of this idea that build your own community that understands what you're going through. Try to be open about it.
Build your own community. And I would say, fortunately in Colorado, there was a lot of this around here.
Sure.
I mean, maybe it didn't translate to the teachers right away. I don't think it, but there was an attempt to, right? Yeah. And it's as slow. So from way back when she was in 4th grade, to now, I think there's a greater awareness and things like that. But yeah, so you're handling as a parent, you're like, okay, it's a project. For me, it was a project.
Yeah.
And that's not how every parent handles it.
Sure.
There's a lot of mourning going on. There's a lot of sadness.
Yeah.
I think it was really quickly that she was asked to speak at an event for Learning Ally. And then I just met other parents there. So that was like my intro. And I go, okay, I think you say, oh, they're pretty normal family.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's just honest. You're like, wait, they're normal. They're nice.
Yeah.
Their kids normal.
Yes. And the thing about dyslexia, particularly, you can't see it, right? You can look at 100 people and have no idea. So it's this idea that it's hidden, but then it's also like, okay, they're a regular family and they're doing it.
I remember one mom, she mourned more than I mourned.
Yeah.
So I think that question is everyone does it a different way.
Sure.
Some people say, okay, here's my beautifully gold sealed stamp with a gold ribbon on it. I'm going to hand this diagnosis to the principal and he's going to take care of it or she's going to take care of it. But that's not how it works.
No.
And their kids struggled year after year after year. And they called me, what should I do? I'm like, probably the 10 things I told you last time you called me. So I think accepting it and saying, yeah, okay, my kid, and it becomes kind of a project, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to quickly learn. Teachers don't know everything. They weren't taught all that in school. So how would they know unless they did extra classes? You start meeting all these teachers that are going out of their way to learn everything about it. And that's amazing. So I just said, I think I gave gifts out to teachers. Like, I think I bought the Sally Shaywitz book to a lot of people. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
And people would come back to me and say, you know what? That was really helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Yeah. And as stuff got older, you had to continue. It's never a done project, right? There's always more you have to figure out as they get older and they move through school, right? It's not one book, I read it, okay, we know what we're doing. It's a trial and error. Am I correct on that?
You're absolutely correct on that. No, it's forever.
Yeah.
Right? And there's always that self-talk. They're always saying, I'm not good enough in this. But it's your project as a parent. You're going to be their team leader, and then there's a transition period where you're turning over to them, and they have to learn that advocacy and how to advocate for themselves, and meeting other kids and going to different advocacy groups and meetings and how they speak about their dyslexia. Is amazing, right? And then they learn that. And then as they start progressing through school, they can say, yeah, I need the notes on this. And this was a case for her, right? I need notes, and I need extra time. So when am I going to take the test again? So all those things, those accommodations that they now have, you can have them, but never use them, right?
Yeah.
So so they start learning it. But the mom and dad still have to be around, because sometimes there's a little mix-ups here and there. I'll just call them mix-ups, or miscommunications. But I've been asked to go to, I am not a licensed professional, but people say, could you just come and go to the IEP meeting with us?
Yeah.
I feel like, who is she?
Yeah.
Oh, just a team member.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So it's all about this building of a team around your kid
Building
at the
a
beginning.
Team. And I would say all these kids that my daughter, because it was such a long period of time that she would be advocating and speaking out about dyslexia, that they're all very successful.
Yeah.
Right? They've gone on either successful jobs, some are going on to get their PhDs. This is like, they advocated for themselves the entire time that they went through school.
Yeah.
Right? This is their high school, and then on to college, choosing the school that was good for them, right?
Yeah.
And saying, I need to take this test. And then they could say, Mom, we, there's kind of an issue here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll step in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll be kind.
She learned through you as her example and her leader how to self-advocate, how to take initiative, which probably has translated then into her career of how do I take initiative? What do I need? What can I ask for the things that am I right on that, or
everything? It's everything. It's asking. And so she had to do she was interviewing for her first job out of college. And they got to the third interview, and it was a presentation. And it's something you had to be passionate about. And so it was like someone from Latin America quarter, and then North America quarter, and Asia, and they were all on this panel. And I said, I think you know what you need to do. So she did a dyslexia simulation.
Oh, fun.
And I said, usually they take 20 minutes. I go, you can figure this out. Don't shame anybody.
Yeah.
Don't shame anybody.
Yeah.
But get through the whole thing. And they just couldn't believe what they were seeing. And this woman stopped her and said, wait a minute. You're dyslexic? My daughter's dyslexic. And she was talking about all the tools that she used. But she did the simulation, and they said, we have to stop. This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. And she kind of tied it into tech. Yeah. There's a lot of people in tech. Yeah. They're super creative, out of the box thinkers. And they were, and there's a lot of them that have dyslexia.
Sure.
And so, like, how did they come up with something like this, right?
Right. Interesting.
So people were just blown away, and they, like, for years, she got the job.
Yeah.
I go, well, I think you probably got the job.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just people thinking about that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Raising awareness through her own story.
And at a job interview.
Yeah.
Not being afraid to say I'm dyslexic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now with all the tools.
Yeah. Now it's a little different than it once was. That is for sure. So when she was going through grade school and junior high and that sort of thing, do you have the belief you should just tell everybody, soccer coaches, everybody needs to understand?
And they used to say, if like you're going to think of something else that I am.
Yeah.
Why don't I just tell you who I am?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it does affect your whole life. It's not just a school situation.
And her kids, her kind of group of people through advocacy groups that were dyslexic, they came up with dyslexia humor, right? There was just so many funny things that, like one kid, a bad sense of direction is part of dyslexia for some people.
Yeah.
And one boy was on the cross country team and he went the wrong direction.
Yeah.
He ran a little extra, but it just there's just funny things, right?
Sure.
Reading words and substituting words that are not the right word. So you're like, okay, well, it's another dyslexic moment, right? And once you do that, it just makes everybody okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to be okay with it so everyone else
Someone's like, what's wrong with that person, right? No, tell them what's wrong. Yeah. And I'll teach you about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So you have a very self-advocacy. This is okay. There is no shame around this. It's just how you're wired kind of feel in your house.
You're going to struggle in school. You're going to, as the grades go through and the reading goes through. I mean, you have to spend more time. You're going to still struggle.
Yeah.
But if you don't advocate for yourself, like early on, that those junior high years are really important to be able to say it.
Yeah.
Tell everybody that.
Yeah.
And then as you go into high school, then you're going to be able to say it as well.
Yeah. So let's talk about your son, because that's a whole different experience.
Oh,
correct. Yeah. So he was able to get through all of high school with doing his own accommodations and kind of his own things. So it wasn't as obvious, right?
Wasn't as obvious. So, everyone presents their dyslexia differently. And by this time, I'm heavily involved in dyslexia advocacy and dyslexia groups and everything. And then he was borrowing my daughter's audiobooks. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right?
What is happening?
I was like,
here?
Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah.
Here, right.
Right.
And he had just taken his SAT junior year, so it's at the end, the results were horrendous. Right. Oh my gosh, my son is so smart.
Yeah.
And so, I just called in every favor and I got him tested. And I go, why do you have all these audiobooks here? All of your history, everything. He goes, because that's how I learn. I go, okay. So different presentation. So everyone has like different IQs, different things like that. So he could cover it up a lot better, but he never took an AP course. And then we got the testing done in June before senior year. So he had one last chance to take the ACT.
Yeah.
And if he was dyslexic, which now all of a sudden I'm asking everybody, I'm on the phone, have you seen something like this? So I go, wait a minute, how could I have missed it?
Sure.
Right. And so there's guilt.
Right.
How did I miss that? And I'm thinking, I should have tested everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, looking back, but he got tested, dyslexic and super high IQ.
So twice exceptional.
Yeah. So he could cover up more.
Yeah.
And so he got the testing done and then he put him in like never too late to get some, OG Orton Gillingham tutoring.
Yeah.
It can help.
Yeah.
You can understand yourself. There's a little bit more of, they haven't advocated as a dyslexic kid.
Right.
So and this is like you're having the crash course. They grew up with his sister. He goes, but she's dyslexic. And now, I don't know, maybe they think something's a little wrong or something like that. So he has to do a crash course on how self-advocacy.
Yeah.
And now he has to meet the new people. So now senior year, we're sitting with all the teachers in our early and the dyslexia group at the high school and bringing in his educational tester.
Yeah.
And we're like, nope, this is what's happening at senior year. We're doing this.
Yes.
And this, and for him, he did not want his text read to him as an accommodation. Mm-hmm. He wanted to be in a room and read it out loud to himself.
Okay.
So, okay, great. And so everything is all set up for success.
Yeah.
Senior year. And then he takes ACT. It's a dramatic shift, you know. Yeah. He could be in a room and read it to himself and you know, extended time.
Yeah. So then did he go on to college?
So then he went on and, you know, he went to CU Boulder. Okay. And so your grades are 1. So he got into pre-business.
Sure.
He wanted to go into Leeds, didn't get into it right away, was in pre-business, which was amazing because they all lived in Willville North, one of the dorms, but they had all their counselors there.
Okay.
And then, you know, of course, we are seasoned people right now about disability centers and universities. Yeah. So, and he had been along the ride for his sister. So amazing disability center. Yeah. And again, it's like, now you own it. You have to own this. Yeah. Because now
so did you sit down and talk to him and say, like, had we known earlier, I could have, you know, taught you how to do this. Instead, it was like, here's what you're going to do.
And we're a crash course.
Yeah.
We're on a crash course.
Was that hard for him?
What was interesting is that, so they went to Regis Jesuit and the girls division, they had a woman there, Christine Oliver, the girls, they called it Camp Christine. Okay. Girls were super great at advocating for themselves. Sure. And they had Camp Christine. So it was like a little sorority. Yeah. Oh, I got to go take my test in here. Go with this. This is where I get extended time. It was amazing. On the boys' side, you realize that's a different animal. Boys don't want to show a weakness there. And I go, okay. And although they had great people, like equal.
It's a different dynamic.
It's a different dynamic. So give that boy permission, like, okay, you're going to be, first of all, we know you're really smart. You have a super high IQ. Yeah. So just like put that in your back pocket, right? Yeah. Just don't worry about this, but you have to own this. Yeah. We just went through all this testing. Now you're going to own it. Yeah. And it was amazing. So I think his sister set him up with like how to advocate for herself. Sure. And, you know, kind of the dyslexia family right now. So. Yeah. Yeah. So and then while he was tested, my husband was tested and he was found to be dyslexic. So it was like, oh my God, my dad got through Berkeley. Yeah. I'm going to get through school. But you know, still you're like, what am I thinking about? Sure. At night.
And that's a hard time in life anyway. And then you have the added bonus of now something is different about you when you're not supposed to be different at all in high school, right? That's a very hard thing to say. Okay, I'm going to stand out and be different for something I didn't choose, right? And so that had to be a hard thing for him.
Hard thing.
But he got through it.
And then you start doing, which is like such a big part of like looking at schools, right? And taking the tour is nice. The tour of like, I want to go to business school is amazing, right? This is where I want to be. But equally, and I would say a top priority is to go and set up a meeting. Well, very early. In this case, we couldn't with him, but we did with my daughter, is the disability center. Yeah. I mean, are they good enough for me?
Yeah. So when you tour schools, that is one of the places you would go first before you start anything else.
I would say we're going to sign up for the tour and the disability tour on the same day, or like we have a weekend trip. Sure. And we're going to go disability center and that. And so for my daughter from 4th grade on, right, you're in the mix. You're just like, please do this. You know, you're just kind of kindly encouraging teachers and people to remind. And you might have a learning specialist at the school, but the teacher, you know, the religion teacher might not even know or something. You might just like, okay, I'm going to have a call. We're going to meet. So you're kind of a little exhausted about this.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you're taking tours of the disability center in these universities, small and large.
Yeah.
And they would ask my daughter, not me.
Yeah.
Would you like, if you decide to come here, would you like your test in a CD format so you can play it? Because we'll record it and then you have a CD so no one bothers you. Or you can have a person read it to you. I can choose this.
Yeah.
Or you could read it out loud to yourself.
Sure.
You're doing this for me?
Yeah.
It's like you're used to the struggle, right?
Right.
And then here it is, small, large.
Yeah.
Yes, we got you covered.
Yeah. So the different dynamic in college where it's like, oh my gosh, finally.
And then they would communicate with professors.
Sure.
We're sending you this information. And it doesn't mean that there's never a struggle. Sure. There's always something.
Yes.
I think there's always the timing of the test. Mm-hmm. But now I think there's, maybe it was note taking. Yeah. Things like that. But now with AI and different apps. Yeah. That's kind of just all covered. You don't have to find the person with the perfect penmanship. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little different now. Now it's nothing. Yeah. That whole part I think is taken care of. But it's the test taking, extended time. Sure. And kind of coordinating with finals, things like that. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Small universities and then large universities.
It's doable. It's so much more doable now.
But you have to meet with them, right?
Yes.
I've encouraged people to do it. And I've said, okay, this is part, whether you go sophomore year or junior year, go early. Yeah. So you understand, this is how my child is performing in school and things like that. So if the school's doable, right? Yes. And they can get in but I would say they go and take the tour. That tour is so important. Yeah. We went to one university with my daughter, and we went to the learning service office. And she ended up spending like 45 minutes instructing that person. Yeah. She goes, well, I'm not going there. Yeah. She goes, well, I can't go here. Yeah. I can't go here. Yeah. That's impossible for me.
But it's good that
she knew it.
Yeah.
She's like, that just won't work. Yeah. And it's interesting. You'll see that, right? And that's what I always say. You're going to go. So I've had friends that they call me freshman year of their child, December, and they're like, okay, so we haven't really signed up for that disability service thing. What are you doing? Yes. I told you when he was a sophomore in high school. Yes. Yes. Right? You have to do this. Don't let this go. Yeah. Right? It's on your checklist.
Well, thank you so much for your insight today. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your guys' story with us.
And Katie, thanks for all you do for dyslexic kids.
Yes, absolutely.